What was that? Bro, I don't know what the fuck you doing, boy.
What's happening with your ma? Forgot what I was finna say, but this is a story about DeAndre Bonds, the one who played in Three Strikes and the one who played in Lockdown, the one who got a broom stuck up his ass, you feel me? But I can't pause, so I'm gonna be talking through it. I'm gonna be talking while it's playing, because this shit is fucked up. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about actor DeAndre Bonds. DeAndre was born in 1976 and grew up in South Central. As a kid, he relocated to various hoods in South Central, like living in the Swans, the Hoovers, even moving to Compton and living in Atlantic Drive's turf, but he never banged.
Damn.
DeAndre grew up with a big family, having 7 siblings, and his mom was living hard and even falling victim to crack in the 80s. This caused him being the oldest to experience a lot of things and grow up with a hard upbringing. DeAndre had to help out his siblings a lot and pick up where his mom couldn't. He was selling candy on the streets and even pumping gas at gas stations to make some money, basically doing anything he could to help out. But his life would get more difficult as he got older. Him and his siblings would be placed in foster care for a few years, and that was a battle in itself. DeAndre's first experience of acting was at the age of 13 in a school play, and from then on, he knew he wanted to be an actor. While selling candy, he would meet his future agent, and by the age of 16, he would start to get a few roles, and his first appearance was on a show called South of Sunset, followed by Picket Fences, then Chicago Hope. But his biggest role up to that point came in 1995 on a movie called Tales from the Hood, which later became a cult classic. After this, DeAndre would start to appear in a list of shows and movies, like Sunset Park, NYPD Blue, Touched by an Angel, The Parenthood, Steve Harvey Show, and a movie called Get on the Bus. So by the late 90s, you could say DeAndre was blowing up. 1999, his most known or memorable character would be born when he acted in a hood classic called The Wood. Now everybody has probably seen this movie and remember his character Stacy as the brother of the main character's crush and the Inglewood Blood. This movie made a lot of classic lines and left a mark that's led on to other roles, like with him getting 3 strikes, where he played in the movie as a dude who got shot in the ass. After this role, DeAndre was chilling outside of his uncle's house in South Central when some dudes drove by and yelled out their hood and shot at him 3 times. Coincidentally, he got shot in the ass, but he would survive. After this, he would land a movie called Lockdown. DeAndre would call Lockdown damaging to him. As an actor in the movie, him and his group of friends were falsely convicted and jailed, and his character would be victimized in the movie by a cellmate. I remember watching this as a kid like, man, this was an old Fruit Loop ass scene. DeAndre hated it and said he wished he didn't do it. But not too long after, in 2001, DeAndre's life would forever change. In his own words, he went to his family member's house to hang out and to also give them some money. DeAndre would get into an altercation with his auntie's boyfriend, where you could say DeAndre got his ass beat. Being outpowered and outsized, DeAndre ran to get a knife to scare him off, but his auntie boyfriend wasn't letting up. He tried to attack DeAndre, which DeAndre defended himself and stabbed him once. Even though it was once, his auntie boyfriend lost his life. DeAndre stayed on the scene, and the guy died in his arms. DeAndre was arrested on the scene and sat a year in jail fighting the case, with him getting no bail. DeAndre was convicted of manslaughter and received 10 years in prison. Even though all the witnesses testified on his behalf, his rising career at 25 was put on hold. Prison wouldn't be easy for DeAndre, with him being a celeb on the streets and him choosing not to go to PC because he didn't want to be around them type of people. People was going to try to extort him and punk him and see if they can get out of him, stand his ground after being tested countless of times. In prison, he would see a bunch of chaos, to fights and stabbings. So in his 10 years, it wasn't an easy ride. He would even get his jaw broke in jail. After 10 long years, he was released in 2011 to what was a whole new world from 2001. DeAndre would start to do a few interviews upon being released and even start doing a past hobby of his, which was rapping. His first role back to acting was a show called Rizzoli's and Isles, in a movie called Gangster Squad in 2013, followed by a movie in 2014 called Imperial Dreams, and just in the same year he acted in a movie called Dope, where he plays his original Wood character as an older Stacy. The following years, DeAndre would act in several low-budget movies, but during this time period, DeAndre would be going through a hard time in his life, dealing with his addiction to drinking. He will be seen in the video crying and having a breakdown. And soon after this, he was arrested with a knife and was sentenced to 20 months in jail, which stopped his addiction and helped him remain clean. By 2019, his biggest role since being released from prison came. He appeared in the 3rd season of Snowfall and became a recurring character, playing a crazy-ass dude named Scully. Snowfall's just finished his 5th season, which he has been a part since the last 3 seasons. Andre overcame a lot in his life from every angle. No matter what has happened to him, he has found a way to overcome. That being said, salute to him.
He fighting though. But hey, tell me how y'all feel about this. Like, share, comment, subscribe. What you want to see next. Trust someone for them but God. It's Ken Lim. Peace.